أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربنا زدنا علما آمين يا رب العالمين. Today inshallah we are going to continue with page number 50 of Tabir al-Qur'ani. Dr. Fadil Samari has again compared Jama Killa and Kasra. So let's continue with the topic of Jama Kasra and Killa. Here, Dr. Father Samari has given us two examples from Surah Baqarah and Al Imran related with the topic of this Killa and Kasra. So he is again saying that for Mufrad and for Jama, we have again two um, like places in which the Quran has mentioned this in the state of plural and the singular forms. Let's see here. متشابهين فمن ذلك قوله تعالى وقالوا لن تمسنا النار إلا أياما معدودة. Surah Baqarah ayat number 80. وقوله ذلك بأنهم قالوا لن تمسنا النار إلا أياما معدودات. So we have madudah and we have madudat. So let's see here. Now Dr. Father Swami is saying that there are two similar expressions, like among them, like for Jama Kasra and Jama Killa. Again, we have two similar expressions in which, in the first one, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala is saying that the fire will not touch, like Allah Subhanahu wa Taala says that وَقَالُوا لَن تَمَسَّنَا النَّارُ إِلَّا أَيَّامًا مَعْدُودَةً. So first one is ending like with ta marbuta. The fire will not touch us except for a few numbered days. Ayyaman madudah. But again, waqawluhu again is saying that this is because they said that the fire will not touch us except for a few counted days. Ayyaman madudat. And it is mentioned in Al Imran ayat number 64. Then he says, فقال مرة معدودة ومرة أخرى معدودات مع أن القصة واحدة. So he says that, so once he said madudah, numbered, and like in other place he said madudat, again counted, although the story is the same. Like the story is the same. أن القصة واحدة. Then he says, والحقيقة, let's read this paragraph. والحقيقة أن السياق في الموضعين مختلف. As always, the truth is like the reality is that the context in each place is different. Again, as we have been learning that whenever there is some difference of expression in the same ayah or in the same surah, there is always a different siyak. There is always a different context. That's what we have been learning. Well, hakikatu anna siyaka fil mawdi'aini, in both the places, mawdi'ain mukhtalifun is different. وإيداه ذلك أن المفرد المؤنث إذا وقع صفة للجمع دل على أن الموصوف الكسر منه إذا كانت صفته جمعا سالما. فإنك إذا قلت, then let's see here. Here he says that the reality is that the context in each place is different. Like for clarification, when a singular feminine adjective is used to describe a plural noun, it indicates that the described thing is more than when it is described with a feminine plural adjective, like we see madudah. So, like the example, فإنك إذا قلت في بلدنا جبال شاهقة دل ذلك على أن عندكم جبالا كثيرة بخلاف ما إذا قلت في بلدنا جبال شاهقات فإنه يدل على القلة. So he's saying that, like, for example, when you say in a country there are just so many huge mountains like Jabal Shahika, so it indicates that, like, there are so many, a lot of, you can say, many mountains. But if you say Jibal Shahikat, it indicates few mountains. So this is the difference. Like, if you're using the singular form like ta marbuta, ayyam madudah, it is indicating jama kasra. While when ayyam madudat is indicating like it is a fewer number, few days. More examples. Wa anharu fi qawlika anharun jariyatun. Uh, yes. Wa anharun jariyatun. جارية أكثر منها في أنهار جاريات وعلى هذا فالأيام المعدودة أكثر من الأيام المعدودات وسبب ذلك أن المقامين مختلفان. So it is like in the reverse in the expression Anhar Jariya, flowing rivers are more in number than in Anhar Jariyat. So, based on this, Ayama Maduda, the number days indicates more days than Ayama Madudat, those counted days or number days. The reason is that the two passages differ in their tone and the purpose. وسبب ذلك أن المقامين, the places مختلفان. Different places, different meaning, different purpose, different tone. So this is what Dr. Father Samurai is mentioning here. أما أما الأولى فالكلام فيها على بني إسرائيل وقد this is the next passage that we are reading here على بني إسرائيل وقد أكثر من الكلام عليهم وفي صفاتهم سيئة فذكر أنهم يحرفون الكلام الله وهم يعلمون قال تعالى أفتطمعون أن يؤمنوا لكم وقد كان فريق منهم يسمعون كلام الله ثم يحرفونه من بعد ما عقلوه وهم يعلمون وإذا لقوا الذين آمنوا قالوا آمنا وإذا خلا بعضهم إلى بعض قالوا أتحدثونهم بما فتح الله عليكم ليحاجوكم به عند ربكم أفلا تعقلون فهم يعرفون جرمهم ويقرون به ويعلمون به عن قصد وإصرار وقد تودوا توعدوا بالعذاب الشديد فقال وقد تودهم you can say it, uh, توددهم هم الله بالعذاب الشديد فقال فويل للذين يكتبون الكتاب بأيديهم ثم يقولون هذا من عند الله ليشتروا به ثمنا قليلا فويل لهم بما كتبت أيديهم وويل لهم بما يكسبون. So here, uh, as for the first passage that is from Surah Baqarah, the discussion is about Bani Israel, and there is like a large mention, or you can say very extensive mention of them and their evil qualities. So, as we have seen here in this وفي صفاتهم سيئة فذكر أنهم يحرفون كلام الله وهم يعلمون. قال تعالى, then we have this passage. So then we have like here he mentioned that they just change or distort the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while knowing the truth. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when says that here um, in the ayah as it is mentioned, أَفَتَطْمَعُونَ أَن يُؤْمِنُوا لَكُمْ وَقَدْ كَانَ فَرِيقٌ مِّنْهُمْ يَسْمَعُونَ كَلَامَ اللَّهِ ثُمَّ يُحَرِّفُونَهُ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا أَقَلُوهُ وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ. So this is the ayah like here we see that do they like you can translate it the translation is do you then hope that they would believe you although a party of them used to hear the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and then distort it after they understand it while they know and when they meet those who believe وإذا لقوا الذين آمنوا قالوا آمنا وإذا خلا بعضهم إلى بعض قالوا أتحدثونهم بما فتح الله عليكم ليحاجوكم به عند ربكم أفلا تعقلون. And when they meet those who believe, they say, we believe. But when they are alone with one another, they say, do you tell them what Allah has disclosed to you so that they may argue against you before your Lord? Do you not understand? Afala taqilun. Then he says that فهم يعرفون جرمهم ويقرون به ويعلمون به عن قصد وإصرار وقد تودتهم الله بالعذاب الشديد فقال. So here they know their crime and they acknowledge it and they commit it deliberately and you can say stubbornly. Allah has threatened them with severe punishment. توددهم الله بالعذاب الشديد فقال فويل للذين. So then he says, so woe to those who write the book with their own hands and they say, then say, this is from Allah. بأيديهم ثم يقولون هذا من عند الله ليشتروا به ثمنا قليلا. So to gain a small price, woe to them for what their hands have written and woe to them for what they earn. So this is this is going to continue on page number 51. Here we just have learned that the both words mean few, but not with the same intensity. This ayamam madudah and ayamam madudat. The Quran just carefully chooses a stronger or the you can say the lighter version depending on the context. Madudah, we know it is singular feminine adjective and it is used for the plural nouns, indicates large numbers, and uh, we have learned that it is more than 10, like relatively, and it is used when the context is heavier, like more serious. Then we have like we can say this Maduda used in Al-Baqarah, Surah Al-Baqarah, because the passages describes many sins of Bani Israel, their deliberate corruption, their alteration of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's words, their long history of wrongdoing. So this is the context where we saw Maduda. So here we can say this the expression just suggests more days of punishment. While we see this madudat, and it is again the feminine plural adjective, indicates fewer days and also used in a lighter context, like used in Al-Imran, because here we see the context is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is simply quoting their false claims without listing their crimes in detail, and the tone is lighter. So the expression just suggests fewer days. So this balagha rule behind this is when describing the plural form, singular feminine adjective like we have seen madudah means more, and the plural feminine adjective like it this like madudat, it is for just mentioning the fewer number. So this is Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We learned that this Quran just chooses every word with purpose, like Madudah, more words used in a strong context, many crimes, and Madudat is mentioning, or it is the indication of the fewer days used in a lighter context, like just simply quoting. So this is just a beautiful example of how change in form just creates a big change in the meaning. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.